Hi, I'm Jess Charist, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use OLC's library website to access the academic databases, where you can find all of your scholarly sources to use in your research papers. Okay, let's get started. The first thing to do is open up a web browser. It can be any kind. I use Google Chrome, but you can use any web browser. And then you're going to go to library.olc.edu, or if you forget, you can just go to olc.edu. And then you can access the library's website through the Services tab right here. Wokusape TP, House of Wisdom. This is also where you'll find your email, if you use Virtual Campus or Moodle for your classes, and then Gensbar is where you check your grades, find out financial aid information, all that good stuff. So if you click here, it's just going to take you to that library.olc.edu. And this is the library's website. They change it from time to time, so keep that in mind. The thing we're going to be looking at today are the academic databases, which is under the Databases tab. But they have all the contact information for the different librarians. Michelle May is the head of the library, so if you ever have any questions about an article you're trying to find, she has guaranteed that she can find anything. But all of the people who work for the library are super helpful. You're going to need a library card to log on to the databases if you're at home. So if you don't have one, you can ask your instructor for a form to fill out. Or if you had one in the past but you lost it, you can call up Darlene and she'll be able to look up your number for you. She's usually the one that's at the main desk. But for today, we're going to go to that Databases tab. So if you do go and things look a little different, there will always be the Databases tab for you. It just might be moved around. So this is what it looks like when you click on it. There's a lot of different databases. The two main ones we're going to be using are EBSCO and ProQuest. Maybe you're a nursing student or a social work student, you might use those. There's a lot of other ones as well that have amazing information. American Indian experience, North American Indian thought and culture. So you might, depending on your topic, what you're researching, you might be able to find great stuff there as well, but also just for personal research, there's genealogical databases. So there's a lot of great information at our fingertips. What's really good to note about these databases is OLC pays a subscription to have them. So we have access to all these articles, which otherwise, if you just look at them on Google or just find them not through a database, oftentimes they're going to want to charge you $25, $30 just to read one article. So this way we have access to them. So the two main ones you'll use for this class are EBSCO and ProQuest. So let's start with ProQuest. That's kind of my first go-to. I find it the easiest to use, the most straightforward. EBSCO is very similar though, so it's up to you which one is your favorite. If you're at home like I am, you're going to have to log on. You're going to select your library. You can just start typing in OLC and it'll come up. And then your logon is your library card number. So like I said, if you don't have one, that's the first thing you want to do. If you're at an OLC College Center, you don't need to log on because it recognizes where you're at. And then your password is your last name, lowercase, all one word, if you have more than one word in your last name. And I always click remember me. But it depends, where you're at. Maybe you're not at a personal computer. So once it logs in, it looks like this. So very simple. Obviously, this is where you're going to type in your search terms. If you're not sure what you're looking for yet, and you just want to explore the databases, they also have it divided up into subject areas here. So maybe you're really interested in literature or history or Leonardo DiCaprio. So you can look through here and explore. But for now, we're going to be searching. You always want to click the full text box, which just means it's going to only show you things that you can read the entire article of. It's not really helpful to find something when you can't read the whole article because that means you can't really use it. That being said, if you do somehow come across something that you don't have, maybe you forget to click the box and then you see something really great but you can't find the whole article. Like I said, Michelle May says she can get anything. She can get you any article, so keep that in mind. Whether or not you click the peer review, that is the same as saying something is a scholarly source. A peer-reviewed source is a scholarly source. So it depends on what your assignment is and what your instructor is asking you to do. For now, we'll leave it unclicked, and I'll show you how you can then filter your results to include clicked. So just for today, I'm going to do a little research. I've been interested lately. I've been thinking about the history of libraries. So where did libraries come from? I really love libraries, and I just wonder, you know, when they started, how it all worked. So, you know, you might want to, you can see these other terms, history of school libraries, history of public libraries. So how refined your search terms are is an important thing to consider. For now, I'm just going to put in history of libraries, just to kind of show you what it looks like when you search, how you can narrow your terms down, just sort of what you're looking at here. So, you know, here are all your results. We have 495,000 results, so that's a lot. It can be kind of overwhelming. The first one that comes up here, alternative futures for library history. So if you just click the title of the article, it will bring you to the information about it. So, you know, here's the title, here's the author, here's the scholarly journal it was published in. This one's Libraries and Culture. The issue number, when it was published, and the page, what pages it was on. So the next thing is the abstract, which, if you remember, that's the short summary of the paper. So that's the first thing you're going to want to read, you know, once you look at this information, and you're going to want to see, is this a good paper for me to use? Is this a good article for me to use? If it is, if you read it, you read the abstract, it looks great. Maybe you're going to print out the article so you can highlight and make notes on it. Maybe you're going to email it to yourself. However you want to keep it, you can download a PDF right here. But the main thing I want to point out is how to cite your source, because you're going to need to collect all of your references to put on your references page. So what's great about the academic databases is that they write your citations for you, which, if you've ever written them from scratch, which you will do in this class, it saves you an enormous amount of time and headache. It's kind of frustrating to make citations. So they do it for you. We're using APA style, so it already comes up as that, but if it's another class and you need to use a different format, you can change it there. So here's the citation, you know, last name, comma, first initial, year, title, all of that information here, and then it has where it was retrieved from. So you can just copy and paste that right into a Word document, and that's where you'll start your references page. So it's really easy. It really saves you a lot of time. I like Times New Roman size 12. That's a classic that will never go out of style. We're just going to center it. You want to make sure it's double spaced. Just write references at the top. Paste in, oops, sorry. I want to put it back to the left side. Paste in your reference. You want to go here and put it into a different, you want to keep text only or merge formatting so that it matches the font that you're using. And then the last thing to do is, what you want to do is make the last name stick out, because you're going to alphabetize your references list by the last name. So to do that, you come here to this little guy in the corner, and you click that, and it's called a hanging indent, which is under indentation special. So you're going to go to hanging indent. And there you go. So that's one reference down. Pretty easy. I like to undo the hyperlink. I don't know if that really matters too much or not, but I just think it looks better. Alright, so let's go back to our ProQuest here. And I want to show you how to narrow down your, we'll go back to our list, how to narrow down your results depending on what you're looking for. So like I said, depending on your assignment, you might need to only use peer-reviewed sources. And in that case, you're just going to click this here, And so it's going to take it from 495 down to 139. So now it's going to only give us scholarly sources. Oh, one thing I forgot to point out, I'm going to go back to the main list. So here was all the sources. And you can see when you go down, it puts a little hat, a little graduation hat if it's a scholarly journal, or this is a trade journal. So the little pictures show you what type of source it is. Trade journal, sometimes it will be a newspaper article. So you can narrow the results by peer-reviewed or the source type here. And there's a lot of different options. There's even blogs, podcasts, books, audio and video work. So, you know, there's a lot of different types of sources that you can narrow it down to if you're interested in those. But let's go back and do just peer-reviewed sources. And now say your topic is one, ours probably isn't, but say yours is one that's really, it's important to get the most recent information. If you're writing something about something technology-based or science-based, you're gonna want to only find the most recent research that's been done on it. So a way that you can narrow down to only get the more recent information is right here under the publication date. You just drag the little clicker over and hit update. So now it's only showing us, we're down to 52,000 results. And now it's only showing us 2010 to 2017. You can go even further. Maybe you only want things that were, you know, from the last year. So I'm going to update it to just be 2016 and 2017. So now we're down to 3,000. So you'll see that's still a lot of results. So that's where your search terms are going to make a big difference. You know, maybe you only want the history of libraries in the United States.